I've recently been asked what my settings for both Apex and my Xbox Elite controller is, so I thought I'd make a video about it. And for those of you who don't know, the Xbox Elite controller is basically a regular Xbox control, but with 4 paddles on the back side and with adjustable stick tension. Usually I play auto sprint off, but I have it on when I play mouse and keyboard, which I rarely do. And same with button hints. I don't want anything that covers the screen. Nothing fancy here. Taking damage closest death box is off, so that you can loot even in caustic gas, etc. Button layout, I use button puncher, which make you crouch with the right stick and melee with the B instead of the opposite here on default. Crouch button I have hold, and the reason why I have the button puncher button layout is because I never want to move my thumb away from my right stick. I always want to have it for aiming. And also it's a lot easier to run around and slide jumping and sliding overall if you don't have to let go of your stick. Of course you can play claw, but I find that very uncomfortable, so I never use claw. So I want to be able to spam crouch like this while still being able to aim, since it's such a good way to not get hit by your opponent's bullets. And same thing with the low sensitivity. The reason why I changed, because hip firing is so good in this game. So I want to be able to track my targets while hip firing. Menu cursor speed, I want this kinda high so that I can loot faster. Look sensitivity is 5, I recently changed it from 6 because I find it a lot easier to hip fire using a lower sensitivity. Aim down sight sensitivity is 4, I don't want to have a huge difference between these two. Per optic sense, I actually have it disabled here. On Xbox I think I have 4 on one times and 5 on the rest. Response curve, classic. Look dead zone, none. Look dead zone is so that I can make small adjustments like these while aiming. So what dead zone is basically is that there's a area on the stick that doesn't register anything. So right now I'm moving my stick a lot, but nothing's happening. If we go back and change the look dead zone to none, you can see that I can do smooth movements like this without... So it's a lot easier to aim when you can do small adjustments like these, instead of having to like flip your sight like this because of the dead zone. Movement dead zone, small. Vibration, I like to have it on for some reason. I know that most players are having vibrations off, so I would actually recommend that. Other than that, I use the maximum field of view because I like to be up close in gunfights. I don't sit at long range and using scouts, etc. I find that really boring. So I always have the max FOV so that I can aim and hit better at close range. I guess that's it for the Apex settings. I'm gonna head over to my Xbox now and show the controller settings instead. One thing, however, having lowered my sensitivity is that it's a lot harder to rope bounce with a low sensitivity, but playing mostly King's Canyon, it's not as necessary to be able to do things like these, which is a bit easier with a higher sensitivity, of course. So this is the Series 2 Elite controller. So I have Apex, COD and Fortnite. And my button layout for Apex is, as you can see down there, bottom left is A to jump, top left is X to reload and interact, top right is Y, and down right is up on D-pad, which is healing. And when I configure this, I actually did it when you were able to heal while bunny jumping, so it made more sense then to have the heal button on the backside. If I were to swap it out, as I almost recommend you to do, I would say take the crouch button here, or place X here and crouch button over here so that you can spam crouch even easier. That on my left stick, I have the hardest tension, and on my right stick I have the middle tension. I find it a lot more easier to aim if the stick's not as soft as on the regular Xbox One controller. And for the triggers, I have the shortest possible trigger to minimize the time it takes to push them down, basically. Vibration, I've lowered them pretty much. Left main is the most important to lower, in my opinion. For some reason, it affects the entire controller, and lower vibration on left main makes it easier to aim. But as I said earlier, you should probably just turn off vibrations entirely. So that's basically all my settings for both Apex and my controller.